Recording has begun.
All right, so last time, the coterie split up to gather their weapons, reconvening and heading to the Half Moon's hideout in Algiers Point. They delivered a brutal smackdown to Jacob Laurent, the leader of the Half Moons, and his gang, rescuing the ghoul Irene Lennox, and also finding an unexpected captive, a three-eyed kindred named Rise Devlin. After looting the hideout, they set it ablaze, reporting back to the Camarilla and returning Irene to her domitor, Elijah. Once all was said and done, Ophelia had received a strange message from an unknown number and was instructed to look for the hole in the wall. So now, this morning, the day dawned clear and crisp. A light frost coated the ground and people hustled around on the chilly streets. They went to work, they went to school, did errands. Some began to clean up the damage from the attack on Bourbon Street, clearing rubble, repairing windows, rebuilding walls. Our kindred, however, did not join them. They did not move, breathe, sleep, or even dream. They were dead in the daylight hours. Only when the sun dipped below the horizon, earlier now than in the winter months, did their eyes open and they began to move. The night is cold and dark. Let's do our rouse checks. All right.
Damn it!
So,
I don't think I've succeeded a single beginning of session rouse check.
all right.
That's rough.
Sugar, what is your hunger at?
2. Mine is at 2, because remember, I ate a dude's fucking heart last time.
Yeah, Sugar, you do not have any hunger. So you wake up and you feel, honestly, pretty good. You feel, you do not feel the beast in your stomach clawing. It is dormant. You feel full. But there's still something in the back of your mind that is nagging you about the last night. You've sort of had heavy on your undead heart what you did to that poor woman. I need you to make me a remorse check.
Alright.
It should be under your humanity.
Hey!
Yes. So, you sort of feel in your heart that what you did may not have been under your control, but it was a you or them situation. You do feel bad and you feel terrible for what you have done, and you resolve to sort of make sure that it doesn't happen again, that you do not become the monster that Pepper would fear. And speaking of Pepper, they come in and they sort of, they've got Biscuit on their shoulder, and they smile and they sort of sit next to you on the bed and say, how are you feeling?
Good. A little bummed about the shop, but, you know.
Yeah, a couple of contractors swung by and said that they would be able to fix the windows, so I think they said that they were part of some company. I think one of the companies that you catered for. They should be able to fix everything up.
Alright.
They also left you another letter.
A letter?
Yeah, here. He hands you a letter that simply has your name on it. You can see that. Actually, roll me wits and awareness really quick. Just a straight roll, no need to select any difficulty.
3. Success.
You notice that the theme has been picked at, as if he wanted to open it, but he didn't.
I'll just, like, shove it in my pocket and be like, well, I'll check it out later. We need to clean up the shop. There's probably some
Alright.
glass on the floor and everything. I don't want to...
Yeah, I managed to get most of it sort of picked up. But yeah, I guess just sort of we should probably. Do you want to open the shop tonight, or do you want to just sort of close early and focus on this?
I mean, we can open up for a little bit. I just don't want to, you know, people. I mean, maybe people can need some sweets after what happened.
Yeah. Should I cut some of the other guys?
Go ahead, and I think Sugar will just give him like a kiss on the forehead, and he'll go. I'll go start setting up the shop, and then maybe
Yeah.
we'll just close up early tonight.
Do you need me to turn the heat on? Babe, your lips are freezing.
Oh, sorry, and then I'll be like, it's just, I can't help it. It's, around that time of the season, so I can't, I'd love to keep myself a little bit warmer, but it's hard.
Give me. You have specialty in persuasion, right?
I have
Or
ingenuine, or I don't know how you say it. I forget how you say
ingenue?
it. Ingenue. I appear innocent and blameless. I had 2 rolls to avoid suspicion.
Alright, give me manipulation, persuasion, and add those 2 die. Just give me straight roll.
It's 2. 2 successes.
Goes to the active kindred, he meets you, so he sort of takes it at face value, and he sort of jokingly like rubs your cheeks in order to warm them up.
I'll like laugh a little bit. Be like,
all right.
I'll just start heading down to set up shop and probably close early. But if I do get a chance, I will take a break at the restroom and just check out what the note is.
All right, so you head to the restroom and you open the note. It's a similar invitation like it was for the conclave meeting. Simply gives you an address. It's to. It's an address to the LeBranch house. It's a historic residence in the French Quarter. It gives you directions to a secret door, and at the bottom it says, "Destroy this note once read."
I think Sugar sort of sighs. The French Quarter, right?
Yep.
So it's not too far. He takes a very deep sigh as he's like, if I get in trouble with my husband, I swear to God. And he's just gonna toss the note inside of the toilet and flush.
Cool. You do that. Question, does your bathroom have a window?
Maybe. I felt like this is like more like I'm using like the one that like the customers use. And so, but I mean...
okay.
Maybe? But I also don't really think so.
Well, give me
because
wits awareness real quick.
I don't feel like do, but
yeah. Yeah, give me wits awareness again.
Difficulty? Or just straight?
Straight roll.
It's 2 successes. I'm rolling pretty half and half tonight.
You hear the sound of a bird outside, and if you look outside the nearest window, you see a rather large raven. Just sort of a raven or crow, you can't quite tell, but it has one big beady eye on you, and once it sees you walk out of the bathroom, it flies away.
Sugar just goes, what the hell? Weird bird. And then he'll head back and start continue with the shop.
Awesome. All right. So we move over to another part of town. Sylvia, you woke up tonight and you feel awful. The depression is back and it is so much worse. You feel hangry. You feel your beast riling and just sort of pacing back and forth in its cage like a tiger.
Oh, I know what that feels like.
You are hungry. And you are
Starving.
craving something so you're craving blood, but the more you think about, describe to me how you hunt.
So Sylvia is one of those sneaky little fellows that she doesn't. What was the thing on my sheet? It described it
Sandman.
really well. Yeah, I'm the Sandman, where I will only feed from someone if they're unconscious. And so I do a lot of because I'm so stealthy, I do a lot of sneaking around and feeding for people without them even waking up, because I don't want to kill them, but I don't want to make a friend that I can feed from. I'm too socially isolated and just I can't source it any other way. I have no vampire friends. I have to just steal.
Yeah.
Like a thief in the night.
The more you think about just a sleeping body, the more you sort of cringe. You think that won't cut it. You're craving something, but you don't know what. Give me a wits and awareness roll.
Okay, wits and awareness.
Or a wits investigation.
Okay. Oh, it's pretty much the same. Let's see. It's. I have to start with the other one. Okay. Difficulty?
Just give me a straight roll.
Okay. Oh, hang on, sorry. Did I roll it? I thought I rolled it.
You did not.
What the hell?
Do you want me to try?
No. I can do.
I believe you. I believe in you.
Ah!
So, you would click on awareness first, or
I
investigation.
got it. It just
You got
always gives me a default difficulty. Okay. Yay!
You hear a noise in the apartment over. How well do you know your neighbors?
Not at all. Not even a little. I avoid feeding from them in case they wake up and then I have to move.
Well, you hear a noise in the apartment next door, just some muttering and then maybe like a hand bumping against the wall. I'll let you roll again.
This is rigged. I'll do it faster. Okay, the same thing?
Yes, but just set difficulty to 0.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So this time you sort of listen in and then you sort of take a deep sort of whiff and then you smell it. You smell what you've been craving. The person next door, the reason that they're sort of flailing around and mumbling, they're having a night terror. And your beast growls in satisfaction. That is what you're craving. Yeah.
Whoa, but they're like walking around.
No, their bed is probably like against a wall and they like hit, they like move their hand and it...
okay. So a nightmare, a person having a nightmare, I'm gonna go be their nightmare. Ooh, that's so macabre. Okay, let's do it.
I'm gonna be your sleep
Right.
paralysis
So
demon.
how do you want to get into their apartment?
Well, let's just say maybe there's like a balcony or
Okay.
a fire escape or something. I'll let you
Yeah,
get
fire
creative if
escape.
you want.
Yeah, the fire escape is pretty plausible. Excuse me. Let's do let's do Dex and Stealth.
Okay.
And you get a +1 because you are, well, not for this roll. You'll need a +1 to, well, no, you do get a +1 because this is to break into.
Okay.
And then just
Stealth
tell me how
and
many
Dex.
dexterity. Yes, and a +1 and a +1 for the break-ins.
Okay. And difficulty, straight roll?
Just give me a straight roll.
Okay. On it. Sorry, my keyboard is. How'd I do?
You
Good at everything.
Yes.
Good
You
at everything.
That is a critical success.
Only creeping and crawling.
Yes, so you glide over these balconies and you slip over to the sliding glass door. You test it. It's unlocked.
It's
You're
such
a few
hot
stories
night.
up, so yeah, it's not a hot night. It's wintertime.
Oh, it's such a
But
cool night.
but there's a few. Perhaps they have a radiator or something. Uh-oh, who'd we
Yeah.
lose?
Looks like Jorbin.
Uh-oh.
Yep, there. The only reason I
Uh-huh.
noticed it wasn't Jorbin is because they're the only person there with the crimson chin.
Right. All right. So maybe they have a radiator, or maybe there's some plants on the balcony. You don't care. The door's unlocked. You slide open the sliding glass door with barely a sound, and you creep over to the bed. You see the figure down on the bed, just sort of flailing and sort of twitching and mumbling, and you can feel and hear and smell their blood. It's pounding. It's pounding in your ears, pounding in your mind. Your beast is growling, yes, take it.
Why is this making me salivate?
Why did you have to say that?
Fuck.
Can I describe what I do?
Absolutely.
Well, I would say Sylvia probably is used to a very stealthy approach where she'll take it from like the ankle or like
Ankle.
Yeah, like
That is a very interesting spot.
they're less likely to think maybe they banged on something, maybe it's a mosquito bite, you know what I mean? And plus, like, it's not near
You
their
would
face.
know as a kindred that you would have the power to seal up the bite marks just by licking them. But perhaps
really?
the bruising would remain. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Perhaps
cool.
the bruising would remain.
That actually solves a huge like plot hole with like vampires. So.
Yeah. So you go for the ankle or
I
the
go for
leg
the
muscle.
ankle. Yeah.
You bite
Yep.
into the soft flesh of their calf. They hardly make a sound. They're still sort of twitching and mumbling, and then they sort of just relax. But you taste it. You taste that sort of stench that you smelled, that craving. It's wonderful. It's rich. It's meaty. It's potent. You feel energized, like buzzed, like you feel good. It tastes good, like the best steak you ever ate as a mortal.
Is it fear? Do I taste fear?
You do.
Whoa.
You taste their terror from their nightmare. You taste the adrenaline. That is what you were craving. How much do you take?
They'll feel dizzy in the morning, but they'll just pass it off as having not slept.
The flu?
Well. Yeah. I don't know. I have a small
You're
appetite.
at 3 hunger right now.
I'm a dainty little. I am very short, so maybe that explains it.
You're at 3 hunger right now. The only way to get down to 0 hunger is to drain them completely.
We'll never. At least not yet.
Alright. So you go down to 1 hunger.
Nice. See, how long does it stay at 1 hunger is my question.
As long as you succeed your rouse checks, and I will remind you, your willpower is clear, but you still have quite a bit of damage from the fight, and you can mend 1 superficial damage per rouse check. I'll say that you've already healed 1 because of the knight's rouse check.
Okay. How do I
So if you want to heal that last point, you have to do another rouse check.
Right now?
Yes.
Wait, where are my health?
It's above skills.
Oh! How many did I... So I had 2 damage?
You had 2, you got rid of 1 by tonight.
Okay. I have to do another rouse check. You're trying to get me to kill this poor person, dude.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do
You
it.
can
Kill
save
boss.
it for later. You can save it for later.
I will have...
You only have 1.
1 damage, health, and 1 hunger. I'm fine with both of those stats.
Alright, have it your way. You finish and you seal up the wounds. The person just sort of drifts into a dreamless sleep. You make your way back out to the balcony, trying to sort of redo the steps as you did before, just sort of sneak back out. But then you hear... There's a large raven, or a crow, you can't quite tell, sitting on the balcony almost as if it's waiting for you. It has a letter in its mouth.
Oh my god, devils!
It sort of nods its head at you.
Okay, I take the letter. Am I out of view of this person in the bed?
I'll say that you've made it to your own balcony.
Okay, I open the letter.
The bird paws again, and it flies off. You open the letter. It's an address to the branch house in the French Quarter.
How do I know that that's where it is?
You've been in New Orleans for a little bit, and it tells you the name of the location, an address, and it also tells you how to get to a very specific door. And at the bottom it reads, "Once read, destroy this letter."
Okay. Well, I'm not hungry anymore, so I can focus. I head over there.
Alright. We move over to... Jordan, what is the name of Marcus's apartment building?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, we're done with Sylvia for now.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Shady Oaks. All right, so we head over to the Shady Oaks apartment complex. Jade, how long would you say that you've been up and about?
Probably a lot longer than freaking Marcus, because Marcus has been day sleeping. She's just been around. Just
Yeah,
the apartment,
what
like,
have you
cleaning up a
been
little bit.
cleaning up, sort of
Cleaning up, just hanging
licking
out.
your wounds, as it were?
Yeah, just still kind of mopey about how shitty she did in the fight last time, and I was just like, ah, God, I thought I'd do better, but I just got like my ass wiped.
All right.
Hell.
It's at this point that I would say Marcus wakes up, and you can tell he's not in the best mood. He looks kind of irritated. You can tell, Marcus, you're hungry. You're hangry.
Okay.
So what do
think
you
Marcus is-
do when you wake up?
Marcus wakes up with this kind of a growl instead of a groan, as the beast is kind of biting inside of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, I need a drink. Sooner rather than later. As he kind of pops up out of bed.
I think Jade kind of hears the movement in the bedroom, just kind of looks over, and as he like exits the bedroom, is just like, "Oh, hey, you're up. You all right?"
Very hungry.
Do you need a drink from like me, or like would you rather it from somewhere else?
If you're willing, I would love a drink from you.
I'm always willing. You know that. I mean, at least when
And-
I'm feeling good.
Marcus holds out his hand.
She takes his hand and gives him her wrist.
And he takes a drink.
How much do you take?
Enough to bring him down to 2 hunger.
All right, so probably still a little bit peckish, but enough not to incapacitate Jade. So Jade, you feel Marcus's fangs sort of, you feel his lips brush against your wrist before he bites, and the kiss is wonderful. It's a welcome balm to your sort of disjointed thoughts. You sort of melt into the kiss. And you're a little bit woozy, but still sort of feeling up for it, up for the night.
Yeah, we're doing all right. We're fine. So
At this point, you hear a tapping on your window.
the hell?
Do either of you go to look?
Shit, Jade's a curious cat. Let's go. Yeah, she goes over to the window and
There's a large bird there. A large raven. With one beady eye sort of looking you up and down, and it has a letter in its mouth, and it kind of leans away from you suspiciously.
hello? Are you here for Marcus? What?
Oh, It kind of flaps its wings.
I kind of look over at Marcus. Oh wait, shit. Jordan stepped away for a second.
You call back at it?
Oh no, sorry. Kind of look at Marcus and be like, alright, I'm just gonna. She looks back at the bird. She's like, can I have like the letter, or like, are you?
Give me animal ken and persuasion, or persuasion and manipulation, I guess, because you don't have any in animal ken.
Yeah, I mean, well. I'm sorry, I'm blanking. You said persuasion manipulation?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Difficulty?
Just give me a straight roll. How many dice are you rolling?
Hold on. 1, 2,
3.
3, yeah. 2 successes.
The crow kind of looks at you, sort of like bobs its head looking further in, and then it just gives another caw, and then it holds out the letter to you.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Bird. Flips the
Caw!
letter.
And the bird flies off. The letter has Marcus's name on it, and underneath it says, and relevant party.
Oh, fun. I'm included! Yay! Turn around to Marcus. Let it be known Jordan has stepped away for a second.
Mm-hmm. You can open the letter if you want. Or just say that.
I don't want to do it without him.
It does say.
And co.
It does
but, like,
say. And relevant party.
yeah. I mean, I am a curious cat. Alright, yeah, she'll open it.
Alright, you open the letter. It's an address to the LeBlanche house, or the LeBranche house, with directions on how to get to a very specific door. Plus, at the bottom it says, once read, destroy this letter.
Well, that's totally not suspicious. She'll, like, take a minute to memorize the address and she'll be like, alright, yeah. Hey, Marcus. So, funky letter from, big old blackbird that just flew out of the window. The LeBranche house is calling for us, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like a little adventure for the both of us.
Yeah. I mean, hell, it even included and company, so no. So I think they know. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Oh, also it says to destroy the letter, so I think she just rips it to shreds and just like, all right, there we go.
Perfect.
Yep.
So do you do anything before you head out?
Marcus is just gonna get, take a shower, get ready.
Yeah, she's also gonna take this time to just like freshen up a little bit, put on some good shoes and get ready to just head out whenever.
Lovely.
Uh,
We moved down a couple of
before-
floors. Oh, sorry. Did you say something, Jordan?
Yeah, before leaving, I just have a quick. Marcus has a quick question for Jade.
Of course.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
Jade, my crown jewel. I have a
Yes, Marcus?
little question for you.
That is?
Would have you thought of becoming more like me?
Do you mean becoming kindred?
Yes.
I mean, yes, the thought has come across my mind occasionally, especially due to the little scuffle we had. Uh, yeah, I did not fare well against kindred. To answer the question, I mean, yeah, I've thought about it. And I'm just not sure. It's a big deal.
It is a lot. I
Yeah.
won't push you into it. But if you do wish, just come talk to me.
Of course. I just need to think on it, you know?
Of course, my crown jewel.
Thank you, Marcus. And she goes over and kisses him on the cheek.
All right. So we moved down a few floors. Rise, you wake up, and you have a text message.
Oh, so he'll go and check it, see if it's the group or
It's-
someone else.
It's from Max. Got your stuff at the front door. Do I need to be buzzed in? Question mark.
Rise has a moment where he's like, "Oh, I have no idea." So he'll text Max, "Not sure. I'll come down to you, I guess."
Sounds good. I'll be here.
So Rise will, get up, get his new beanie on that he bought, and he'll, and his new clothes and everything to make sure he looks presentable. And he'll
Lovely, lovely.
head downstairs.
All right. You head downstairs. You see the doorman sort of give you a nod. Excuse me. You see the doorman give you a nod, and Max is standing in the lobby, and he smiles and he holds up a big brown paper bag. What's up, dude?
Oh, hey! Thanks so much for helping me out.
Yeah, no problem. We had a big holiday drive, if you know what I mean. Plus, I'm also kind of here on business. And he reaches into his jacket and he hands you a letter. It doesn't have your name on it, but he holds it out to you.
What's this?
Well, since you're kind of part of this little posse now, the boss kind of wants to meet up and kind of go over what you guys found out with the one ghoul. Or girl. One girl.
Girl. Yeah, girl. Okay, I guess I'll take that as well. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I'll just sort of like wait around here. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Marcus and Jade kind of got their letter, so I'm just here to sort of pick up people who need a ride.
Oh, thanks, Max. I'll drop off the gifts back in my room, and then I guess I'll head back down. See you soon.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be here. I'll just be outside. You look good, by the way. Clean up real nice.
Oh, thanks. So he'll take the stuff and head back up to his apartment. Very, very curious, but also staring at the letter like, huh.
Do you open the letter?
Yeah, so once he's inside and has, like, locked the door, done his, like, double check that everything's locked, because he does, he'll put the stuff from the bag in his, just the bag in his fridge for now, and then he'll turn over the letter a couple times before just deciding, you know what, these people have been kind to me so far, I guess I can take a look at what this is, and he opens it.
You open it, and it says, "To whom it may concern, you have been summoned to the LaBranche house to speak with the Bourbon Street Chantry." It also provides an address and directions to get to a specific door, and at the bottom it says, "Once read, destroy this letter."
He'll look it over, memorize, realize that, as Max said, he's like, huh, so Marcus and Jade will probably be going here too. Hopefully we can all catch a ride. And then he'll go over to the trash can and just start tearing it up.
Lovely. So you do that, and do you bring anything with you? Did you want to, I don't know, bring a blood bag just in case?
Yeah, he should probably grab one. I think I'm at 2 hunger, was it? I think so.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll grab one to go. He also has this, like, satchel where he'll kind of put it so it's out of sight.
Hidden pocket.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then,
Nice. All right.
After he cleans up, he'll make sure to also bring Sal's beanie, which he made sure to wash a lot and clean up so that he can give it back to Sal.
To Sugar.
Sugar, sorry, Sal. Sugar, yes.
Lovely. So you do that, and you head back downstairs. By that point, I think Marcus and Jade, you would also be sort of in the lobby, and Max is outside waiting in his car.
Great.
So we'll, like, slowly walk up, be like, hey guys,
Oh, hey.
guess I'm going with you.
Yeah. You know where you're going, right?
No, I'm actually, I'm not sure. It was written down for me, but, I was hoping maybe...
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, let's go.
Max gives a little beep beep from outside the door and waves.
Guess Max is our ride?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Lovely. So you all head out and hop into Max's car, and you head to Bourbon Street. Ophelia, you've had a bit of a rough morning. Your beast isn't agreeing with you, and you found a raven loose in your apartment with a piece of parchment in its mouth.
She's like, you rancid fucking flying shadow! I will skin you alive and turn you into fucking wings!
It sort of, like, flies up, like, onto the top of a punching bag and sort of, like, caws, and it, like, nods its head frantically with the letter in its mouth.
She walks up and, like, goes to, like, snatch the letter.
It sort of, like, flaps frantically and, like, jerks its head up, panicked.
She's like, give me the letter.
It kind of eyes you, like, suspiciously, like, hunched over, and just gives another, ah.
Give me the letter, give me the letter, so then I can open the window and let you out.
Give me manipulation and intimidation.
Intimidation and manipulation. Got it. Difficulty?
Not hard, but tell me how many dice are you rolling?
I would be rolling 4 dice.
Okay, so just give me a straight roll.
I got 3 successes.
Goes to the active kindred. It sort of eyes you warily and then very slowly bows its head down to hand you the letter.
She like takes the letter, goes over to the window, and like just out.
It just bursts into like a frenzy of activity, like, and just sort of like flaps wildly. It almost misses the window trying to get out.
She's like, Ophelia is like getting angry again. She's like, the room is beginning to fill with steam again. She's
All
like,
right, do you open the letter?
she's waiting for the bird to get out first.
The bird is out. The bird is out.
She like slams the window shut, locks it, and like takes like a small deep breath. Is like, oh, fuck. Oh, she breathes. She's like, if I can go back in time and kill Marco so that he doesn't fucking embrace me while high on fucking werewolf blood, I will. I fucking will. And like with her eyes still kind of shut, she opens the letter as she like calms down and
All
she
right,
like
you tear open the envelope and the letter sort of like flutters to the floor. You pick it up and you sort of scan it over. It's an address and just says it's an address to the LaBranche house, and it just says, once read, destroy this letter.
her eye kind of twitches a little, and she's like, so a bird broke into my apartment while I was working out to give me a letter. It gives me an address. Is this how mortals feel when they say the phrase, this could have been in an email? This could have been a text message. And she's like looking at the letter, looks at her heavy bag, looks at the letter, and then just like punches the heavy bag as hard as possible. Just boom!
Give me strength athletics.
Could I maybe brawl since she's punching it?
Strength brawl, sure.
Alright. 3 successes.
You punch the heavy bag and it just sort of swings back, and it almost hits you coming back, but you're just sort of over it.
She just kind of catches it on the way back. It's like, oh, this fucking bird got to me before I could eat, so I haven't even have a chance to deal with all the shit and like heal all the shit from last night. So fucking.
Oh yes. How much damage do you have?
She's still sitting at 5 superficial.
Oh my. Yeah, that's how much can you heal per rouse? 1 superficial per rouse.
Yeah, so she's like,
So if you want to do that, you gotta make 5 rouse checks.
and she's like, ah. And she's going to first be like, she's gonna first check to see if she has anything that can help with her hunger before she starts healing her wounds. She's been around long enough. She's like, I'm not doing this before being hungry. So she like opens up her fridge, like, okay.
I'll say that your willpower is back. Let's see. So I guess sort of wits awareness, because you don't have anything in investigation.
Okay, so she's just like checking her fridge, see if she's got anything that could just make sure she's got the stuff to like keep herself from going insane. I'm gonna re-roll willpower.
All right.
I'm gonna.
You can re-roll only one of those dice.
All right. I'm gonna re-roll the 1. Hey, it's a success, and it's a success. Okay, so I got the 2 successes.
All right. So you look in your fridge. It's pretty empty, but you find a piece of liver in the back that it could still be good.
She like smells it. Ugh. She's like, all right, I have a choice now. Do I take the risk with this liver, or do I find a good organ God, I sound like all those. God, I sound like all those Italian motherfuckers back when I was in Italy.
Give me a willpower roll. See if you can choke it down. Just click on willpower.
Yeah.
See if you can choke it down.
Yeah, she could choke it down if she needed to eat it. Probably. She got a 3 out
All
of 2.
right.
So,
Yeah.
She also like,
we'll say that you can choke it down. It's still decent, and it'll slake 1 point of hunger, but after that, you'll be out. Or I could make you a devil's bargain for you to find something fresher.
Ophelia's not above fighting fresher meat. I mean, this is pretty obvious.
You have a lot of hunger.
And I'm gonna have a lot of hunger, possibly even more. She's gonna heal a couple wounds, and then we'll see. We'll play it by ear.
All right, give me however many rouse checks.
All right, so, all right.
You may.
That's 1.
1, so that's 1. Okay.
That's another.
2.
Jesus fuck.
3.
There we go. That's
4.
And then.
So you have 1 superficial. Your beast sort of growls as it heals a rather deep gouge from the wounds that you had.
Just. And she looks at the liver, and she kind of like listens to her beast, and she tosses the liver in the trash. And she's like, "Fine, I'll find something fresh, you fucking asshole." She like puts on her coat, puts on her jacket, and heads out.
All right, where do you go first? Go to the address given?
Oh no, she's gonna go find something to eat first. She's gonna go to probably one of the seedier locations that she tends to hunt.
All right, give me. I guess do wits and streetwise.
Good thing I've got good streetwise. What's the difficulty?
Give me a second. I gotta look up something.
Oh, you like me threatening the bird?
Yes, it was pretty funny.
You sent a bird into the angry person's house.
It was hilarious. And I genuinely, I started cackling, just like...
Ophelia's like Kratos. If she gets angry, she gets angry, but she prefers to keep it like a dull, controlled rage.
That was certainly not a controlled rage.
No, it was not.
That was just anger.
It was just pure anger.
Alright. Let's see. What do you have?
I have 1 in wits, 3 in streetwise, so I'd be rolling 4 dice.
Okay. All right. What did you get?
Oh, you didn't tell me a difficulty yet.
Oh, just give me a straight roll.
Okay. I got 2.
Okay. You see 2 possible targets. You see Let's see. You see a young man sort of hanging around a car, and you see him sort of scan in, looking around, looks left, right, and he sort of raises his hand and sort of starts tapping the window, quickly taps the window, it shatters, and he looks in the back, doesn't find anything, and he starts to move on. Then you see another person sort of hassling a kebab seller.
she looks at the guy who's like broke into something, and then she looks at the dude. Does the person who is harassing the kebab seller, do they seem especially like asshole-ish? Like, how are they kind of harassing this person? Like what level of harassment are we talking about?
They're making some pretty severe remarks.
Yep. Okay. Definitely going after that guy because they won't be missed.
All right.
So she's gonna start walking towards. Is this still on Bourbon Street or off Bourbon Street? Because she's just going to a seedier location. But I'd ask you.
I'm gonna guess that this is like sort of like in the surrounding area of Bourbon Street.
All right.
You know, like people selling, like just people. A lot of cultures like fall through. So
yeah. So she goes up into the kebab and is like, "Hey, is this guy bugging you?"
the kebab seller looks absolutely terrified, but the man who's hassling him kind of just sort of turns around and just says, "Yeah, what do you want, bitch?
Ophelia.
You here to film me, put me on the internet?"
Oh, no. I'm not here to film you or put you on the internet. As you can see, I have no phone in my hands. However, I want to give you one final chance to rectify this. Apologize?
Oh, sure. You some kind of cop or some shit. The emotions police. Honestly, you should call the police. This guy isn't here legally.
Ophelia gives like a deep inhale, and she's like, "All right then." She looks to the kebab user and she's like, "I apologize for this gentleman." And she looks back at the gentleman, "And I apologize for whatever being allows you to exist on this planet." And she's gonna just grab him and start dragging him towards an alleyway.
All right, so this is going to be a contested grappling roll.
Good.
Let's see. So you have +1 to. So this would be Dex Brawl to grapple. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1. Okay, so you're rolling.
So I would add +1 to
7, 8.
to my pool size.
Yes.
All right, and then so we got. All right, I'm gonna re-roll that because that did not end up good. So come on. Nope. All right, so I got 3.
Well, unfortunately, you try to drag him and he wrenches out of your grip and he says, "Hey, this bitch is trying to assault me. Somebody call the police."
And she's like, "All right, fuck it," and she just punches him.
All right. Strength plus roll.
She's just at that moment when you're trying to be civil and you're like, "All right, fuck it." 4 successes.
Yeah, you just deck him and he just falls. He crumples like a sack of potatoes. The kebab seller is looking at you and he's terrified and he like holds up his hands and says, sorry, I give money.
No, and she...
Sorry, free product.
No, she reaches into her wallet. Does he have like a little tip jar?
He does.
She'll
It's a little empty peanut butter jar with tips hastily scrawled across it.
She'll slip 2 $20 bills into the tip jar, grab the guy and start dragging him away, and she's like, "I'll tell my friends about this place. It smells delicious," and starts just dragging him away.
He sort of lets out a quiet "thank you" and sort of just hustles up, gathers up his cart, and just starts booking it in the opposite direction.
Ophelia then takes the dude into into an alleyway. And is he like out, or could I possibly like try and like smack him awake?
He's kind of he has a pretty good sized goose egg on his forehead, and he's kind of like moaning and just sort of like half wakeful, half like knocked out.
She's like, She's like, all right, listen here. I'm only telling you this because you're an asshole. But, yeah. Remember this in your life. No one cared about you. No one will love you. You will not be missed. And the only reason you will be of any use to me is because you will be dead and therefore you will satiate me. Amen. Goodbye. I don't care where the fuck you're going. Heaven, hell. Probably doesn't matter. Hopefully you'll end up in the abyss. And then she's gonna take out her knife and just stab it into his chest to, like, open up his chest.
You stab into his chest, and it's over in seconds. He bleeds out. You drink what you can, though it doesn't slate your hunger. You don't want it to go to waste.
She was gonna, like, stab at the top and, like, drag down so she could open his ribcage. That's what she was doing.
Oh yeah, you stab into his aorta, you're gonna get covered in blood.
She doesn't care. And then she, like, drags down and, like, tries to open his ribcage, like, alright, where's the juicy bits?
Alright, to do this, I'm just gonna say give me a strength brawl. See if you can crack it open.
What difficulty?
I'm gonna say... Man, how hard is it to break into a ribcage?
It's like
It's pretty hard to me.
I'm gonna say 3.
Alright, that's fair. That's a 7, so...
Yeah, you just cracked you cracked him open like a can of tuna. You just... you open it up, you take what you want,
Yep,
you don't let anything go to waste.
Yep, she takes his heart, and, like, as she's, like, takes his heart, she makes a call to, like, the person that, like, usually... who could she call? I'm trying to see. Who in her touchstones could she call to perhaps... Oh, Sean.
Sean.
Yeah,
you call Sean.
She's like, hey, Sean, I need cleanup and harvesting at... And she, like, peeks her head out of the alleyway for, like, and gives him, like, the street name.
Yep, you got it. Give me a second, I just woke up. I'll have somebody over.
No worries. He's missing his heart. That's because of me. Could you, grab anything blood-rich? Press him in ice, typical shit.
Yeah, I know the drill. Lung, liver, you got it.
Also, as a thank you, and she reaches into the dude's wallet, she'll take a 20 out of her wallet, slip it into the dude's wallet along with everything else, and put it back in his pocket. Take whatever he's got on cash. He won't be missed.
Cool, you got it.
Alright, thanks.
And he hangs up.
Ophelia eats the heart.
Wolf, I need your opinion. Would this cause a stain?
I am an organivore.
What would?
Ophelia's hunting. She's an organivore.
But I'm an alley cat also,
yeah.
so...
I would say no, if basically, unless it breaks one of their convictions. If this goes against one of Ophelia's convictions...
I did.
Her whole thing is punishing assholes.
And
so.
she did, and she started
I
off
would
with...
say no.
And she did say, listen, I'm gonna give you a chance to stop. So she didn't start the fight. She finished it, though.
That is true.
I'll say it does not... Okay, thank you. Yep. Alright, so you finish up your meal. I'll say you have no hunger left, because you did eat his heart.
Yay.
No stains. You're good.
She
you...
like, licks her thumb and is like... she, like, licks her fingers clean and is like... you calm down now, you petty bitch?
Very.
Good. Now, let's go find out what the fuck these guys want.
You're going there covered in blood?
Well, she's gonna, like, clean off, or she's, like, gonna go home, rinse off, then, like, come back.
Give me a quick, dex stealth.
Alright, I do not have any stealth, so it'll just be straight dex. What difficulty?
Just give me a straight roll, and I'll see if anybody notices.
I'm gonna roll that and see if I can get those other 2, so I at least have 3. Nope. All right, we got the 1.
also got a 1, and it goes to the active kindred, so no, nobody really notices you. You managed to make it home and sneak up the stairs and take a shower.
She like rinses off. She has like a spare like whole outfit basically. She has many of like the same type of like outfit because she frequently, with the way of her hunting, she frequently gets blood on it.
Yeah, you probably have like a bunch of hydrogen peroxide at your disposal.
Yep, so she tosses like that stuff in hydrogen peroxide to like soak so it doesn't like mess up, and then she like rinses it off, puts it in the laundry, gets dressed, and then before she leaves, she's going to actually turn around, grab her gun, her brass knuckles as well. Like, after the recent shit, I don't want to take any fucking chances.
Alright, so you do that, and you all convene at the LeBranch house. Max sort of is happy to see everyone as he drops off Marcus, Jade, and Rise. Ophelia, Sugar, you sort of meet up at the same time, and Sylvia, I'm assuming that you just took like the train car, you hop off in the French Quarter, and you see the group sort of gathering.
I can't drive. Actually, I can.
Yeah, alright, so you are all together now, and you are given directions to look for a very specific door. So if anyone wants to look for it, I need a wits investigation or wits awareness.
I'll throw my hat in for it. Oh, not finding shit. Good luck, everyone else.
How is everyone doing otherwise?
I disassociated. What's happening?
I killed a man.
We're gonna roll for Dex or
Awareness.
Wits awareness. Dex awareness, because we just arrived, all of us, at this house, the LeBranch house.
And what's the difficulty, or is it a straight roll?
Just a straight roll.
Cool.
4 successes.
Yay! 6. Alright, so who rolled wits awareness?
I did not get good. I got a 1.
Yeah,
I did.
Ophelia,
Oh,
you're
I'm too
still...
depressed.
Alright. Ophelia, you don't...
Roll.
You can roll if you want. You can roll, wits awareness or wits investigation.
Okay. Well, if everyone else is failing, I should give it a whiz.
Well, actually, everyone is doing decently well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
I
Ophelia?
got 4 successes.
Except Ophelia.
Ophelia is better at hitting things and like lifting things. She like wits is literally her lowest like attribute.
What's the
Just have to
difficulty?
point her in her direction and she
None.
knows
Just
where
give me
to
a
hide.
straight roll.
Fine.
Got it. Sorry, I don't know why I always ask.
A lot of her stuff is her memorization. If you tried to give her directions to a place without giving her GPS, she'd be like Roronoa Zoro from One Piece. She would somehow end up in the bayou in a completely different state. And she
Like,
left
how
2
did-
hours ago.
Alright, so, Sylvia, you see what you might think is the door. Jade and Rise, you spot the door immediately.
Everyone, is that the door they mean? Since he's never actually
no.
been here.
Honey. I think it's the door over there. Yeah. Wait.
I'm trusting you all on this one.
Do you not remember what said on the note?
I got attacked by a bird, and then I had to get dinner, so...
Sorry.
I'm sorry. You got attacked by a bird?
My apartment got attacked by a bird.
Was it the same bird that
Bird?
saw that?
Fugly, weird looking, probably spoke to Edgar Allan Poe with, and I quote the raven nevermore. Probably that kind of shit. Black, ugly, weird looking.
Sounds
I
like
actually
it.
thought it
Sounds
was
like
rather
it.
cute.
Mm.
Fuck birds.
All right, guys. Unfortunately, it seems like Jordan will be stepping out, so I will be taking over for Marcus.
Bye, Marcus.
Thank you, Jordan, for
Jordan.
coming. I hope you feel better. If you
Yeah.
feel at all better and we're still going, you are more than welcome to jump back in. But for now, just take care of yourself, bud.
Exactly.
Yes, please.
Mental health is more important than some silly game. Make sure to take care of yourself.
Peanut butter is important.
And I think this is a good time to just sort of check in with everybody. How are you all still feeling? I know that
good.
things kind of got a little bit graphic.
Yeah. Are you reading from a script or did you write this?
I wrote some of it, but I also just sort of make up some stuff on the spot.
Oh, so
It's
wait,
half
so
scripted,
you're
half
not,
improv.
so you're not reading from like a game book or anything?
Well, I am looking for certain examples of like prey in a game book, but the rest
Okay.
I sort of had planned, and I'm just sort of going off.
So like when you
whatever I
say,
can.
"Oh, she sunk her teeth into the soft flesh of the land," you were just kind of like improving right there.
Yeah.
Wow,
Improv, yeah.
dude. Wow, sis.
Are you
killed
okay with that?
I
Thank
mean,
you.
Chris,
Thank you all.
I just think you're a really great actor and writer, and I'm like, this is so sick. How did she come up with this?
Thank you.
I apologize.
All right.
I apologize for my lunch. My predator type is alley cat.
No, it's okay.
And-
I mean,
That
I
kind of
should've
stuff doesn't
known.
bother me.
I should have known,
All right.
you know, it was going to be a super gory game because it's vampires, but I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
I'm also an organivore, so
All
I
right.
can't
Well,
just
if it
drink the
ever
blood.
does, if it ever does get like to be too much, you're more than welcome to just say, "Hey, pause. This is getting too graphic."
I appreciate that. Thank
Play
you
the
for
yellow card.
Yeah. Sal, you've been pretty quiet. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Just a quiet little guy.
Cool. Cool. Did you want to also see if Sugar notices the door?
Yeah. I wasn't really sure if I should roll.
Yeah, like when I say like you can do like wits awareness like for a group roll, like honestly, just go for it. Like you
The
were
more
all
the
given the
merrier.
instructions.
I just
Rise
think
is
I-
over here like,
2 successes.
Birds?
Mid rolls today, guys.
birds? What birds? Who?
Yeah.
What birds?
Yeah, Sugar, you don't see you don't see the door. You're distracted by some pigeons on the street.
I don't bird watch, but like I'll sneak a glance if I can.
They just sort of look at you and go like,
They go in. Rise is going to approach Sugar and pull the beanie out of the satchel he has and hand it back. He's like, "Thanks. I made sure to wash it a lot. So,
Oh,
thanks."
thanks. And he'll take the beanie and he'll just like shove it in his pocket.
Ophelia's.
all right. So Marcus kind of smiles and just says, "Lead the way, Carita."
Alright. I guess everyone follow me. And she, of course, goes up to the door and lightly knocks on it and just sees if
The
anyone
door-
answers.
Yeah, it takes a minute, but the door sort of creaks open and you just see sort of an eye look back at you, just sort of up and down, just quiet, just sort of judging you, almost expecting you to say something.
Hello?
Hello? What business do you have?
We
We
received
got
a
a letter
letter.
from a bird.
Ah, yes. We received a letter from a bird telling us to come to this address.
The figure nods and opens the door and stands aside to let you all in.
Thank you. She goes in.
Will slowly approach, taking in the surroundings as he goes.
So you all see as you enter, it's sort of a service staircase, and the figure points down the staircase to a sign that says under renovation. Go that way.
All right.
So do you all go down the staircase?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fries will definitely be in the back of the group.
Probably next to Ophelia. Unless people want Ophelia to go first.
We will make Ophelia go first.
Ophelia.
That's fair. That's actually a fair
Human
thing to do.
shield.
Not even a human shield, just a
Alright.
human tank, just a walking tank.
All right.
Brick wall.
So you all go down the stairs and to the left, and you see another sort of service hallway. There's some pipes, there's some boilers, but at the end of the hall, you see a door to what appears to be sort of like a larger sort of employee space, or like a space that you would see like beneath a church for like Sunday gatherings, Sunday dinners. And there's another man there holding a box. A large box, a metal box, and it looks very heavy, but he is having no trouble holding it.
Do
Any devices go in here, please?
do y'all know him?
No.
I mean, no, but we don't really have any other choice, do we?
Okay.
The man sort of repeats again, sort of more insistently. Any and all devices go in here, please.
Yeah, I heard you the first time.
Fuck it.
All right, you all.
Ophelia kind of watches him for a second before doing, and then just slowly pulls out her phone and puts it in there.
He waits until everyone has their devices in. You can see that there's a few others in the box, and he shuts the box and stands aside from the door, allowing you to enter.
I deduce that it means that someone else is here.
Yeah, probably.
Ice is definitely fidgety, as he's not used to being around this many people.
All right, you open the door, and you see sort of that underground sort of meeting area. There's like some dusty furniture, like stuff that's been pulled from museum rotation and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the LaBlanche House is sort of a historical residence that also serves as sort of like a cultural museum.
Oh, it's one of those places in New Orleans.
So there's like a few... Yeah, so there's kind of like a few dusty mannequins. It's sort of dimly lit. It's still relatively clean. It's sort of like a warehouse space. Some people are milling around. They're not particularly happy. It looks more like a skeleton crew tonight. But once you all enter, you all see Leon. And he sort of smiles at you and sort of nods and says, well, I take it you all got my message.
You couldn't have sent a text message?
The Camarilla is cracking down on electronic communication out of tracking fears, I'm afraid. So,
Tracking fear.
good old snail mail is much more safe.
That was not snail mail, that was bird mail.
It was very dramatic.
You get my point. That was Remus. He was, he's pretty quick. And as if on cue, the bird flies onto his shoulder and just sort of gives another caw, and sort of looks at you all sort of with that same intelligence. Sugar, you realize that this is Leon's famulus. This is basically his biscuit. And it sort of looks at you all sort of curiously before then recoiling and hiding behind Leon's shoulder when he spots Ophelia. Marcus goes up and just shakes Leon's hand. It's good to see you, Leon. How are you faring? I'm doing okay, but this isn't about me. It's about all of you. Casimir wants to go over what he learned from Thin Bloods, and Irene wants to thank you personally.
Fair enough. Are they here, or?
Yeah, they're in a side room whenever you're ready to see them.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right then. He sort of nods and he leads you to like the far side of the room where there's another door. He opens it and there's sort of like a smaller, it's been refurbished into a parlor space, but it sort of looks like it was like a storage room at one point. In it you see Casimir sort of smoking, even though there's not a lot of ventilation. He's very sort of dressed, clicking his pocket watch. You also see Irene, the ghoul that you rescued, who is kind of coughing at all the secondhand smoke. Elijah is sitting next to her. And there's a bottle on the table. Along with one of the vials. Casimir looks up and just sort of gestures tersely to all of you to enter the room. It's large enough for all of you, even if it is a little bit slightly cramped, but not too much.
Alright.
Rise is hanging closer to the door, just waiting and watching.
Yeah. I think Jade is probably more towards the, like, nearer to them. She's a people person.
Ophelia sticks more towards the back, but that's because she's kind of sticking close to Rise, as by her, because of the decree, like, with the agreement that she did with the prince, she's Rise's protector, so she's not taking any chances of anything.
Yeah. Rise, you see Irene's eyes sort of light up in recognition when she sees you, and she gets up and she crosses the room and just says, "Oh my gosh!" And she hugs you and says, "Are you okay? I know I wasn't in my right mind. I probably hurt you by accident. I'm so sorry." She's rambling at this point and she's holding on to you very tight.
It tenses for a quick second, but then relaxes and gently hugs her back, saying, "It's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry that you were in that situation. It was terrible."
She sort of parts and sort of smiles at you and just says, "I am so, so glad everything's okay. When I heard what had happened and that when I remembered that you were there, gosh, nobody should go through that. I was the target, not you." Yes,
Oh.
that is why I wanted to discuss this with you. Casimir kind of gestures to the table. It also has a pile of papers on it, and you all might recognize it as the papers that were stolen from the Half Moon's apartment. They are very neatly sort of collected into a folder. So this is what you found when you visited their hideout, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you also found this substance, correct? He holds up the vial. Sylvia, your eyes are immediately drawn to the vial, and you can smell the sickly sweet blue raspberry flavor coming off of it. You feel your fangs itching. You want it. It's more of what sort of disperse the clouds of depression. Sis, are you still there?
Yeah, what did you ask me?
Sylvia has noticed that the vial in Casimir's hand is the same substance that she drank from the mug.
Oh my god, I freak out. Like, that shit was terrible.
You have drank this before.
By accident, yeah.
By
yeah, I got
accident?
fucked up. Well, I didn't know it was tainted.
Tell me, what happened exactly?
Well, we were, sneaking around somewhere, and, well, this cup was just lying out, and I was kind of hungry.
So you drank it, but what happened afterwards? What were its effects?
I forget what happened. Didn't I get really loopy or something?
You almost had a euphoric high. You just felt really blissed out, and that's depression bubble sort of melted away. But you weren't making a lot of sense. You were talking about how beautiful the moon was. You were commenting on the city. You were just this chatty, talkative person that you normally aren't, and you were smiling. You can't really remember, but by the time you woke up, that haze was gone, and you felt like you had the worst hangover you had in
I feel like shit. And I
years.
honestly don't remember. Let's just say I don't remember what happened. All I remember is waking up with the worst headache I've ever felt.
Casimir kind of raises an eyebrow and looks to the rest of you and says, "Do you remember what happened when she drank it?"
I was a little more concerned with other things, and kind of in a way referencing to the bodies she was carrying.
He looks to Rise and Jade.
Rise will speak up and say, "Imagine being happy drunk."
I see. Well, we do not know at this time what this substance is. Even with my persuasion, he sort of clicks the pocket watch in his hand shut a little bit more sharply. The thin blood did not reveal its secret, claiming he did not know what it was. And all of the notes that I've analyzed was their group trying to reverse engineer the substance. So it is safe to say that this has come from a different source. Irene sort of pipes up and says, I kind of remember where they got it. It
should be illegal.
It's thin blood alchemy is kind of really weird and illegal and convoluted. It's they use horrible stuff. They made other stuff just to break even. They were obsessed with this substance. They kept on trying to figure out what it was made of and how it worked, and when they couldn't figure it out, they just gave all their leftovers to me, and What was your name? She like looks surprised.
My name is Rise.
Rise. Yes, they gave the whatever was left of their, I guess, experimentation to me and Rise, just to sort of keep us doped up. It's all a haze. And she kind of sits down. Elijah sort of rubs her shoulders. I do remember there was one person who approached them when they were trying to get more. They were arguing about something, and another guy came up and he was really angry, saying that he was first. But then he kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It was like, I just remember sort of like a motherly woman sort of walking up, and I think she tugged him by the ear to get him away, just sort of going off on him, saying, I don't know, like how a mom would scold their kid. She kind of looks up at all of you and says, whatever this stuff is, you need to figure out where it's coming from. That it's really dangerous.
I bet.
Yeah. Yes, that is why I sort of gathered you here. I know that you have already been through a lot, and no doubt we are all still struggling due to the destruction of our chantry. But I will allow you to investigate this on your own time. I have a few of my hounds searching the area, seeing what they can find. But whatever information that you can gather, we would appreciate this being dealt with. He sort of like glances and sneers at Ophelia when he says that.
She kind of quirks an eyebrow. Care to add something?
I do not think I need to add anything.
Please.
Just that it needs to be dealt with.
It will be. May I see the vial?
He holds it out to you.
She kind of takes it and like snaps a picture of it and like hands it back. And oh wait, no, she doesn't have her phone. Right. Oh,
Oh yeah, she doesn't have a picture. She can't take a picture. Her phone is gone.
Yeah, she looks at this and she's like, I will need a picture of this to send to one of my contacts at some point.
He sort of hands you the file with the notes.
She takes it. Thank you. I have a contact who deals in these sort of, and she wiggles her fingers, substances. If anyone were to kind listen, I got meth, heroin, and all the bad stuff off the streets. Be happy about that. She holds on to the file so that she could send the information. Like, can I keep a copy of this?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. I will send this to my contact. It should help me with my investigation, as I have things that also need to be dealt with on my end.
Marcus sort of nods and speaks up. I promise I'll try and figure out if there's anything out in my neck of the woods. See if there's anything that could be threatening. There aren't many clubs, but where there are, I'll report back. Casimir sort of nods. The scent of the vial is very, very strong. Sylvia, even though you are reviled by the idea of the hangover, you just cannot get your mind off of just not feeling depressed again. Rise, you're also somewhat tempted by this. Just sort of now that you're in a controlled environment, what would it do?
I resist. Or I roll to resist.
Give me a willpower roll then.
On it, boss.
Just click on willpower.
Yep, getting there.
Do you want Rise to do the same thing? Or for Rise?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Straight roll?
Yep. Just click on willpower.
Why does it default to 2?
That's kind of like the default.
I don't know.
I think that's supposed to be like the equivalent of like the default difficulty for things. Is
Difficulty.
2.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Alright.
Then I'm 3 of 2, I guess.
Perfect.
Let's
Looks
see.
like 3, 4 from me.
Mm-hmm. 3 successes, also 3 successes. You both sort of managed to quell those desires, but it's still sort of nagging at the back of your mind. Do you have any other questions for Casimir or for Irene?
No.
No, I think we're done here.
Rise is going to send a smile to Irene and just say something along the lines of, what we've been through was a lot. If you ever need someone to talk to, you know where to find me.
Thank you so much, and vice versa here. I think we can. I think we have a few therapists under our payroll. But yeah. Thank you so much for. I owe you all a lot. Here, and she sort of reaches below the table. And she pulls out a few bottles. There's one for each of you who can drink blood. Ophelia, yours is a little bit different, though. It's simply a box.
Yulia kind of looks and quirks her eyebrow at the box. What's in the box? Sorry.
We wanted to thank you for everything that you've done, so this should last you a while. We had some work done on the bottles, so it should still remain pretty fresh.
Ophelia will kind of open and peek inside of the box, like tilt the lid enough to like look inside, just enough to see what's inside without letting anybody else see.
You look inside and you see a glistening mass. It's smooth muscle tissue, and the scent that comes from the box is delicious. But it's familiar.
She shuts the box, gives like a nod of thanks.
Will graciously accept a bottle. Thank you.
It's about the size of a beer bottle, sort of sealed with wax at the top. You were also... I'm trying to decide if they would be given a check or not, but probably not. Casimir just sort of says, the rest of your compensation will be delivered in a few days' time.
Ophelia looks at Casimir. It's like, give what's owed to me to rise. They need some more. They need some extra help getting started in this place.
I shall make note of it.
We'll jump a little.
Marcus.
That's not necessary, but you know, I'm okay.
Ophelia kind of looks at Rise and gives that sort of like Kratos kind of grunt of like, you don't have a choice, just that,
Rise will duck his head. Okay.
But are the rumors true? I wasn't there when it was revealed to the prince, but he looks very intently at you, Rise. I could have sworn that you, your clan, were nearly vanished from the trace of the earth.
Tenses, but still twitching his fingers. I don't know what you mean.
Ophelia's hand is on her knife, but not in like a threatening way, but in a definite like prepared way, and her eyes are like locked on to locked on Casimir.
I suppose it is just hard to believe. And the need to see with one's own eyes is very important. I should like to know just who we are protecting.
Not you. We may be protecting, but he is mostly under my protection. Whatever is said does not leave this room, Casimir. Because
He kind of looks at the rest of you, and he sort of waves his hand to usher you out besides Ophelia and Rise.
Kind of look at the Ophelia and Rise and just like, do you want us to leave or do you want us to stay?
Trickles of steam are starting to like come off of like Ophelia's exposed skin.
Will kind of flick his eyes over to Irene first. Before back
Irene kind of glances back at you, and you see Elijah whisper something in her ear, and she just finally stands up and says, "Casimir, that's enough." He looks very surprised, and Elijah is just staring daggers at Casimir. Irene sort of goes on, just let them get on with it. They've been through enough. I get that you want things in order, but just leave him alone. He's already been hunted. Just let him have some, I don't know, some kind of peace. You see Casimir's gaze sort of soften for just a moment, and then he sort of turns back and just says, "You have your task, go." And he sort of pushes past all of you and walks out of the door.
Ophelia lets go of
Irene kind of walks over and sort of like gently takes Rise's hands and says, "I am so sorry about him. I promise he's very good at what he does, but sometimes he can just be an anal retentive asshole."
We'll just relax slowly and offer a smile. Thank you. I can't. Not yet.
I know. Just, if anything happens, you come to me, not the prince or Kaz, or just come to me first, and I promise I will. You helped me. You might not remember it, but you stood up for me, and thank you. I would have done something really bad if you hadn't.
It is my honor. I live to serve.
She smiles, and then she gives you a shy peck on the cheek before going back to sit down. Marcus smiles and sort of puts his arm around Jade in a bit of solidarity.
She kind of coyly smiles and she's just like, well,
Young love.
yep.
Guys will just tense
Well-
up again and just slowly glance over at both of them. Excuse me.
Marcus gives Rise a wink.
Rise pulls his beanie down a little further. Oh,
Oh, come on. She's
Before
cute too.
he immediately straightens up and is like, "We have a task. We should task. Teach me, Ophelia. Teach me how to task. Yeah, that's
Oh my god.
that's a thing."
Ophelia gives like a sigh and she says, "One moment. Could I have the rest of you leave the room? I need to speak with these two. Privately."
Elijah and Irene are kind of surprised, but sort of nod. Marcus nods to Ophelia and says, "We'll just wait outside for you."
Jade, keep an eye on
Is that
Rise.
alright?
Yep, Jade, keep an eye on Rise for me.
Of course. I go over to Rise and grab, kind of like,
Sylvia.
link arms with them.
Sylvia,
What?
give me a wits awareness really quick. Give me a wits and awareness really quick.
Wits and awareness.
Ooh.
Fail.
Ooh.
How many successes did you get?
None.
0.
Not, It's not a beast.
Well, you're ushered out of the room then.
Oh.
You can spend willpower, I guess, to try again. Could she?
You can't spend willpower to re-roll up to 3 regular dice.
I accept that I see nothing.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right. You all head out of the room, and Ophelia, you are left alone with Elijah and Irene.
Ophelia, now that everybody's left the room, like, finally takes her hand off of her very large knife and just gives a, apologies for what may seem like trapping you here, but, and she looks back at the door, I'm not exactly ready to tell them about this yet, and she walks a bit closer to them.
What do you mean?
She'll reach into her pocket and set down a gold coin, like a sort of antique, oldish looking gold coin. It's like slides it over.
Elijah raises an eyebrow, but he accepts and he takes it and sort of examines it, looks back up at you.
This is a, so you could say, consider this a favor in my old line of work.
A favor.
And she is like, And she looks and she says, Have you ever heard of the Bronze Bull of Italy?
Give me a minute.
I like hearing your dice roll, Moon. It's cute.
He sort of raises an eyebrow and says, I had heard tell of a famous wrestler in Italy during the 40s, but then they vanished without a trace. Some believed in our circles that there was some kind of coincidence with the Anarch riots, suggesting their clan, but I'm assuming there's more to this tale.
Much, much more. The Bronze Bull was the moniker I went by when I used to work under one Marco de la Rosa.
He raises an eyebrow. The name is familiar. He was found diablerized.
Ophelia, there when he
His
says that,
eyes sort of darken.
Ophelia's eyes remain locked on his.
I'm guessing you were the culprit.
A stain on my past, but a piece that needed to be removed, not just for human and mortal kind, but not just for preserving the masquerade, but one of moral kind. I was not a good person, and I do not try to be. But I'm attempting to be better than what I was. A protector rather than a killer. And she gestures back to the
He
coin.
nods. He nods sort of solemnly and holds up the coin and says, "What will this buy me?"
A favor from me.
"What kind of favor?"
And she just says, yes.
"Any and all favors."
As long as it stays within my moral grounds and my capabilities.
"And if it is not?"
Then as the rules go, it is null. Please consider this. But the only reason I am giving you this is because I trust you will use it properly.
"Why don't we shake on it?" And he sort of gestures to the knife at your side.
She unsheathes the blade, and she kind of flips it and hands him the knife handle first.
He takes it, and he slices his wrist, and he holds it out to you.
Ophelia does the same and then clasps his arm.
He smiles and sort of grips your arm tightly. "With this bond, the rules shall be as you set. Should any favor I call upon you be outside your morals, it shall be null. But I reserve the right to call upon you for any favor that falls within your jurisdiction, and you have no right to refuse should it meet the guideline."
I agree to these terms.
"Very well." He sort of dabs the blood, your blood, on his fingers. And he motions for you to do the same.
She does.
He licks his fingers and looks at you.
She follows.
You feel that promise sort of settle into your very bones. This is a blood bond. A very unorthodox one, more formed on promise, but if this were to be broken, it would have dire consequence. This is a boon that you owe him, that is willingly given. He sort of smiles, and he rubs his wrist as it heals. Have a pleasant rest of your night, and I wish you luck on your investigation.
You as well. And you continue to rest, Irene.
I will.
And she gives like a gentle bow. And as she's leaving, she says, "You have proven to me that you are trustworthy. I hope you have proven to me you're more trustworthy than Casimir. I hope you continue to do so." Unlike most people, I enjoy your company. And she leaves.
He lets you go, and you meet up with the rest of the group.
Y'all cause any trouble while I was gone?
This is just sitting there, looking at the ground, twitching.
No,
I see.
just hanging out.
So, what were you up to in there?
Don't worry about it. And she walks
What?
past.
But what's the
So you're
hot
leaving?
gossip?
Trust me. Trust me. In time you will find out. But not.
Why
not
are you
yet.
bleeding? Marcus kind of pipes up and gestures to your wrist.
Oh,
Oh shit, yeah, that's happening.
and she'll heal her. She'll heal it. Just, oh,
Rouse check.
I'm good.
Lovely.
She just. Oh,
All right. So are you guys leaving Elysium?
yeah. Ophelia's leaving.
I'm blowing this popsicle stand.
Lovely.
I mean, Jade has to go wherever Marcus is because, you know, just to cool around
Yep.
Elysium isn't exactly great.
Rise will kind of
Alright,
like
so
snap out
you-
of it and follow.
All right. So you all get out of Elysium. You get your phones back. You head back upstairs. Then Ophelia, your phone starts ringing.
I thought I changed that
It's that
ringtone.
same unknown number. It's that same unknown number that messaged you the other night.
She's like, I thought I changed that ringtone to something better. And she answers it. Yes.
Hello. I assume I'm speaking to Ophelia?
And who is exactly speaking to me?
Oh, come now. We met a few decades back, not that it really matters.
Rise.
It's come to my attention that you've been investigating, or at least have gone against a certain group of Finbloods that are engaging in some rather illicit activities. I also happen to have a shared interest in these individuals and their activities. I could lend you a hand.
I assume you want to meet?
Indubitably. Tonight.
Name the place.
I already told you last night.
Ah,
The hole in the wall.
yes.
Oh, and you, as you asked, the name's Gunderson. Baron Butch Gunderson.
Ophelia just gives like
was-
a annoyed sigh of like, I'm genuinely surprised. I'm genuinely surprised that it's been this long since one of you have contacted me.
Bring the family. I'll have drinks prepared. And he hangs up.
Ophelia gives an aggravated just,
What's going on? Who called you?
Yeah, everything okay?
Baron Gunderson is who called me.
Who?
It's roll time.
So give me a wits investigation or wits awareness roll. See how much you might know
I'm not gonna.
about Baron Butch Gunderson.
I'm not
All
gonna.
of
Who is
us?
this roll for? All of us or just Ophelia?
All of us, all of you who have been in New Orleans for more than a year.
Lovely. Difficulty?
Just give me a straight roll.
Brains, then.
Alright, cool.
Straight roll.
I love playing
Lovely.
somebody who's just irritated with the
Mm.
world.
I'm
You know
gonna
yours is
re-roll
the
that.
most recent.
I did
You have
a
3.
3 of 2.
Okay, so 3. Jade, you have 2.
Hold on, I'm re-rolling.
Okay, so that brings you up to 4.
I wanna know.
I will roll for Marcus because he's not here. Investigation.
Wasn't expecting to meet this guy so
What's
soon.
Investigation. Three successes for Marcus. Sugar only has one success. So Wolf, go down the line. Sugar only has one success.
One success. You've probably heard maybe a kindred or so, or maybe a couple of maybe the rougher guys who come in looking for pasties mention the name, just like, oh yeah, I was at Butch's the other night, or something like that. And Gunderson's party was great, or something like that. Who got two successes?
Is he like Gatsby? Is he like evil Gatsby?
No.
Oh my god.
No, gosh.
No.
Sylvia got and Marcus got 3 successes.
So no one got 2.
I don't think anybody got 2.
Okay. 3 successes. You would definitely know that Butch Gunderson is a baron of the one of the Anarch territories in New Orleans. He is in the Pines Village area, right on the edge of Lupine territory. From what you've heard, he's been there a long time. He occasionally comes out every now and then to have fun and enjoy Mardi Gras. And he usually keeps to
Jade
himself.
got 4 correction.
Yeah,
Jade got 4 successes. Sylvia and Marcus got 3.
Okay, well, and then we'll do Ophelia's role, or discuss something else with that. But for Jade is actually briefly at a party once actually saw Butch. He's very I'm gonna send a picture to you. This will be the first time anyone will see him. So I'm going to DM the image of what he looks like.
Gimme.
You gotta tell me nipple size.
Yes, so you probably saw him at like an opera event after the ballet. You saw him maybe with like a woman on his arm, just sort of enjoying the sights and sounds.
I don't know why, but he's giving me steampunk Mad Hatter anyway.
He had biker vibes.
But biker vibes, but like heavy steampunk.
None of us are
Yeah.
reading this guy correctly. He's an
And
enigma.
also, you would also know that he is also married. He is married, that he is actually a gangrel, and so is his wife. Her name is Sycorax. And you would actually know through conversing with other ghouls and some with other kindred that basically there's this running joke and a little fascination with their relationship because they're the only kindred couple to stay married the longest in New Orleans. Like, they're the longest lasting kindred marriage in New Orleans.
Do
However
kindreds
long
get
that is,
divorced a
you
lot?
don't know.
Apparently.
And they both
Damn.
own a bar called the Hole in the Wall in Pine Village.
Damn. Huh, alright. I kind of look over to the group and just like, yeah, so, that's the owner of Hole in the Wall.
Yep.
Wait,
Ophelia,
he's
did you
that-
want to do a roll?
I don't know. Moon, should I do a roll? Or...
I know. Oh.
Go for it.
I would say even add 2 extra dice to this since you've been there a little longer.
Alright, so what
one
am
at
I
most,
rolling
so-
again so
Mhm.
I can make sure I know?
Wits awareness plus 2 die,
Alright.
or wits investigation plus 2 die, whatever you
Whatever's-
have more.
I'll go
Mhm.
awareness because I have poor investigation. I got 2.
No.
So about the same. She knows, probably just knows it just because of the area she's currently staked claim in.
He's probably visited Bourbon Street before, just to sort of see the sights. Probably didn't get into any trouble, though.
No. If he had...
Heck, he might have even visited Broken.
Yeah, Ophelia is just like, well, he's a person of authority, so she already just kind of is like, about him. She's like,
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
no, she's like, Ophelia's just, yep, runs hole in the wall. Let's go now. I personally not want to have to deal with him too long.
Should we call up Max?
Yeah, call up Max.
All right. I'll ask him to bring a larger car.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus sort of dials it in.
Man, at this point, we really need to get like an SUV or something.
I usually walk places, so.
5 minutes later, an SUV rolls up.
Oh.
Oh, hey! Called it. Anyway.
Max smiles and sort of waves to you. Howdy, guys. Where to?
Ophelia gets into the front seat and immediately rolls down the window, hole in the wall. She's already steaming.
Hole in the wall. Oh, yeah, that cute little place out in the pines. It's a real nice dive bar.
Oh,
Been there a couple of times with some buddies to watch the game. Yeah, let's go.
Ophelia just like head like slowly turns to look at him as he's like saying that, and it's not a look of amusement.
What? Did I say something wrong?
She just looks forward again and lights, and she lights a cigar.
Yeah, just
He's not exactly the happiest camper right now.
I can tell. Let's get underway then. All right, so you all drive off up to Pines Village. You can see the map and exactly where the hole in the wall is in the designated channel. Yeah, you all make it there. Yeah, Rise, how are you feeling? and Sugar. Rise and Sugar, we haven't heard from you in a bit on this matter.
I think Sugar, like, I feel like the reason he's so quiet about the situation is he sort of understands that he's like, he's not that he doesn't want to be involved, well, he doesn't want to be involved, but, like, it's like, he just feels like his input doesn't hold much merit, since he's just a baker.
Fair enough. Rise, how about you?
This is, mostly...
Uh-oh, who'd we lose?
Oh, we lost... Oh, no, Sugar! Sugar!
Sugar!
Oh, okay, cool. Rise... Welcome back. I think Rise is mostly, like, kind of just taking it in, being, like, being many question marks around himself, and then, of course, focuses his attention on being like, there, Ophelia. There.
She's just kind of his.
Yeah. How does Sylvia feel about this?
About what?
About the hole in the wall and Butch.
I don't know. She's mostly confused. She knows of this guy, but she doesn't quite understand what any of this means.
Okay. Alright, so you all head out to the hole in the wall in Pines Village. It's a nice little dive bar. Literally, as it describes, it almost looks like the door is in a hole. You open up the bar. Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so literally it's just as Moon described on the outside as for the doorway. But when you get inside, it's a very wooden, very homely, almost like a log cabin vibe with a bar basically facing the outer wall, a wooden staircase off to the side of it going upwards to what looks like a bunch of rooms upstairs. On the other side of the bar, there's a doorway that has like a big metal lock on it. And in front of the bar is just like a whole bunch of different areas of tables, booths,
Pool table.
Yep, pool table. Like two very,
Slot
very
machine.
dark and dimly lit corners with curtains. There's a jukebox. There's TV screens. There's a bunch of motorcycles parked outside too, and like old-fashioned muscle cars, and like the music that's playing is Ozzy Osbourne, and there's a bunch of animal pictures on the wall too of mostly wolves and coyotes.
All right, so you all head in and you sort of look around, take in the sights. It is very homely. It's sort of like a tavern almost. What do you all do first?
Ophelia,
Quite.
Ophelia looks at the place and just like,
Is there a booth?
There are a couple
actually-
booths open.
If anyone wants to, they could do a wits and awareness roll to see if they recognize anyone, especially Jade. Jade might get an advantage, especially because Jade would know who to look for.
Yep.
I'm doing wits awareness. How many advantages am I getting?
Let's say two. Two extra.
Alright. Lovely.
Yep, just
difficulty.
straight roll.
Just straight roll.
Straight roll.
Alright. Schlink. That's horrid. Ugh.
Still decent.
I know, but it's only three.
Three successes? That's
Eh.
enough.
Yeah,
Ours
fine.
not that crowded tonight.
Yeah, 3 successes.
Okay, well, you definitely recognize from across the room, you recognize immediately Sycorax, and I will post a picture of her in NPCs as we speak.
Lovely.
Oh, also put in Butch as well.
I will when he is introduced.
Okay.
He hasn't entered the scene
Don't forget
yet.
to title
Only
the
I
picture.
know what he looks like.
Yep.
Don't forget to title the picture.
Yep. Posted.
Oh, Sugar got 4 successes.
Damn.
Hmm.
Damn. Anyway,
She's in NPCs. She is behind the bar. She is cleaning glasses and serving drinks and just looks completely tired. Like she does not want to be behind the bar right now. She looks very tired and very just like, I've had enough of this BS for one night. Mood look on her face.
felt.
And like when one
Sugar,
guy
you would
tries to reach
also
across the bar.
recognize. Sugar, you would also recognize this woman. He got 4 successes.
Yes. You would definitely be able
Maybe
to
she
see
came into
basically the
the-
authority. He wouldn't know who she was, but he would definitely notice that she has authority. Like she would see like one drunk biker try to reach over and try to steal one of the bottles while she was like about to pass out, and she would immediately just like grab a butcher's knife and just like stab it right near it, just like give him the stink eye, and just like almost growl at him.
Damn.
Hot. Anyway,
Sugar, how do you react to this?
I think Sugar has been like, I've been surrounding myself with so many respectfully like weird people recently where he's like meh. He's like, I've seen probably weirder.
All right.
I kind of point over to the bar and just like, yeah. So that's his wife.
Ophelia.
She might know where he is.
Ophelia.
So.
As soon as it's pointed out,
His
Ophelia
wife.
walks over.
All right, Ophelia walks over to the bar and
Okay.
puts a Sycorax.
Damn. Just going in. All right.
She still has her cigar.
Oh my god.
Evening.
Huh? Oh, can I help you?
I was sent by Gilfry. He called for me. Name's Ophelia. I run Bourbon Street.
Oh, her eyes just immediately sort of shake, and then they narrow at you. Like, she narrows her eyes at you, like making direct eye contact, just like, oh. You're her. I see. And she just begins to sort of like. She also has long, black, elongated, sharp nails, as fitting a gangrel, and she just starts sort of scratching the wood of the bar.
Yeah, Ophelia's.
And then eye twitch and says, "He told me you might be stopping by and bringing friends."
Yep.
Where are your friends?
She gestures behind her to
I wave.
the people that did not move.
Marcus gives sort of like a polite hello,
Back,
like a sort of like a smile, wave, nod.
back there.
She rolls her eyes and says, "Yeah, I'll take you to the old to the son of a bitch. He's upstairs in his office.
Thank you.
I don't know if he's busy or not. He could be in a meeting. He could be doing something terrible.
I don't care.
But,
He
you
asked
know.
for me. I'm here, so he's gonna see me now.
Yes, I'm sure he will." She again narrows her eyes at you. Says, "Okay, Brian, Frankie, take over the bar for me."
You got it, boss.
Just hearing that,
All right,
And-
follow me.
hearing that, Ophelia
A couple
senses,
other gentlemen take over the bar, and you are summarily led upstairs.
hearing the names, Ophelia sends a text to Tony, like, everything going good over there?
He gives you a thumbs up. Busy.
She gives herself like a nod and puts her phone away. And she, come on, guys.
I hope you're prepared, you know. He's kind of a fan.
For the last time we met, made that kind of clear.
How did you two meet? Marcus kind of pipes up. How did you guys know each other?
Yeah, how did you two know each other? She says, turning around. Just with, again, a narrowed-eyed look.
Ophelia's like blows some smoke from her cigar. The section of Bourbon Street that hang on, I want to check the map to make sure I'm correct about what I'm about to say, because I think I'm right. I just want to make sure. Yes. Okay. Yes. The section of the area that I own, Bourbon Street, is technically within the Baron's territory. When he found that it was taken from the previous owner, the previous inept owner, came to visit to see who the new guardian was. At that time, I believe my nickname as the, and she gives in like sarcastic quotes, Dark Angel of Bourbon Street came about.
That's funny. We got a different name for you down here.
Oh, what is it?
She gives a slight smile and she says, I'll let the big dog tell you. He'll be upset he'll be absolutely devastated if I tell you.
Fair
Such
enough.
a sad little girl.
Mm.
You can be sometimes. And as you guys go upstairs, it's like you can see there's two like guest bedrooms, and then there's like a big room with like a glass pane with the name Butch Gunderson manager office on it, and just like completely disorganized way, like it was like drawn on there with like marker.
Yeah, like one of those detective glasses things, like those detective doors. Like the old name is scribbled out, and it's just Butch Gunderson.
And she will walk up to the door and it's like, Han, your friends are here. Oh, send them in already. I'm coming in too, you know. Okay, you can come in.
Like Marcus kind of chuckles and nudges Jade and said, "Well, I'm glad that we're getting a warm welcome."
Yeah, a charming sort.
Ophelia on the other end. Oh,
What
god
less
damn it, we're getting
formal.
Oh, damn it, we're getting a warm welcome.
Yeah.
It's a lot less formal than what we're used to.
Trust
I
me.
mean, it's
But
better
It's
than
much
nothing.
appreciated.
Trust me. After this, you'll
It
want
is
the
much
formal
appreciated. It is much appreciated, ma'am. And he sort of like nods his head as if tipping his hat to Sycorax.
She gives a slight smile and just sort of shrugs, just like, it's the Anarch way, hun. We live for fun, happiness, peace, harmony, and the whole shebang. We don't really do a lot of selling, although we are doing some expansion. But, well, I'll let him tell you all about that because, well, I'll be sticking around to make sure none of you, And she makes eye contact with all the girls. Do anything funny.
If it,
And she immediately opens the door.
Ophelia
Funny?
looks at Jade. I would tell her, but I don't think she would listen. But I don't exactly swing that way. And Ophelia goes through the door.
And you see it's a big sort of office, wooden. There's lots of old Wild West memorabilia, some vintage pistols and revolvers from the era like put on the walls for display. Old Western movie posters, pictures of coyotes and wolves, and a big desk right towards facing a window. And a chair facing away, and then until eventually it swivels back, and I will post what Butch looks like. I'm very excited.
Nice.
I can tell.
Nice.
Posted!
Alright, let's see what we. Oh God, he's even worse than I thought.
Like I said,
Why is he exactly like how I thought he was, yet somehow worse?
like I said,
Lovingly. Lovingly.
I do mean it. I do mean it lovingly.
Western
I mean it lovingly.
madhat.
Ophelia does not. I mean it lovingly. Ophelia does not.
I mean,
And
I
as soon
was thick fit, you guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ophelia's
It's badass.
one of the few what Ophelia considers to be one of the unadvantages of being an anarch is you have to deal with this sort of thing.
and he swivels around, and he has a wide grin with revealing two permanently extended fangs. He's got a cigar in his fingers, and he says, Ophelia and friends, or should I say her Opheliacs. So welcome to have you in my abode.
Oh my fucking God.
Cloak
Can you
name.
just call us Opheliacs? I don't
That's-
know.
Well, technically
what's
that's what I
happening.
call her Nos, but you guess you all joined the fan club.
Ah.
We're more
Sycorax
co-workers.
just rolls her
sir.
eyes and face palms.
Marcus kind of coughs, like trying to hide a chuckle, and says, "We're more co-workers, sir. Marcus Payne, it's good to meet you." And he extends a hand.
He just sort of straightens up in the chair and just scooches up and extends a friendly handshake and shakes your hand, and he says, "Pleasure, pleasure." And he says, "It's just a term of endearment and a good lighthearted humor. Good to keep up the humor around here."
Mm.
I can definitely understand that.
Well then, where are my manners? And he just starts rifling through his desk, and he pulls out a cigar box and he opens it up and openly extends it to you. Cigar?
Ophelia waves the one that she's still working on. I'm good.
No, thank you, sir.
Marcus
Well, how
takes
about-
one and
Sylvia
sort of like
takes it.
puts it in his pocket.
Sylvia takes it.
Oh, yep.
All right.
Sylvia
All right.
takes a big swig of it, a big puff, and then starts
Ah,
violently
that's a girl.
coughing. And then starts violently coughing and almost throws up.
Oh my. Okay. Marcus kind of takes the cigar politely, but doesn't smoke it. Thank you.
So it'll be like, no, thank you, and then
he
patting.
points over to like a decanter with blood in it, like on a table. That's like there's a ceiling fan right over it.
there is a delightful aroma. You can tell that the blood is a little bit fresher. If anyone has any remaining hunger, I think Marcus. Yeah, he's at hunger too. He'll take a glass and pour some out for himself. Anyone else?
Ophelia's completely full, so she's fine.
Rise is at hunger too, so I think he'll also accept a glass.
Marcus pours your cup for you. You can.
You'll enjoy
Wait,
it.
one hunger?
It's from a very alcoholic individual. It'll give you a good buzz.
Thank you.
me up.
Do you still have hunger?
No, but she kind of wants to get drunk, but she actually doesn't. She doesn't need it. She doesn't take it if she doesn't need
I
it.
will allow you to get drunk, but you won't slake a hunger.
Okay. That's fine.
Loving it.
I'm trying to numb the pain, sorry. This is not healthy. Children listening at home, don't do this at home.
Just casually breaks the fourth wall.
Love it.
You know, as Volcavians do.
Yeah, because we can see all 4 dimensions.
Yes, so Marcus kind of sips and appreciates it like a fine wine and says, from what I gathered, you had a vested interest in our investigation.
Yes. Well, why don't you all have a seat? And he gestures to the chairs laid out already in preparation for you all.
She'll sit down.
Marcus sits and sort of pulls a chair up for Jade.
Yeah, and she sits down next to him.
Butch is also going to lean back in his chair and put his feet up on the desk, but then Sycorax walks over behind him and immediately straightens his ass out, so that way his feet are on the ground. Just like, okay, fine. All right. So, it is, as I said before, come to my attention that you've been investigating the thin blood drug epidemic that is currently sweeping New Orleans.
Yes.
As it happens, I am having a very similar issue with such predicament.
Alright.
Also, gotta say, love your work the other night. I heard all about it from many sources. The way you took out that group was phenomenal. All of you. Chef's kiss. Mwah.
Well, we had a few close calls, and he sort of wraps his arm around Jade, sort of protectively. A few close calls, but we were just glad to get it out of there and bring some to justice.
Yes. Unfortunately, though, it did not stop there, it would seem. I thought, as I said over the phone, Ophelia, I can lend you a hand. Because I would love nothing more than to see this epidemic, along with the thin bloods involved, grounded into paste. He says he actually just loses that whole kind demeanor, bares his fangs, growls, and actually slams his fist on the table. And actually, even Sycorax actually growls a little bit, walks over behind him, and actually wraps an arm around his neck and lays a hand on his shoulder, and nods. So, I have a feeling that we are of the same mind.
I would agree.
I assume you
I'm
are well
guessing that-
aware that these are no mere drug. And he gets out of his chair briefly, walks over to like a cooler, in the back and pulls out the same two vials that you had just seen previously. Yes.
One vial is blue, and one is a
Is
bright
bright.
red.
Oh.
Here's how I can tell you this. This little number, the blue, it used to go for 500 per vial, but lately it's gone up to a whopping 1k. Along with this little number. Not only that, the name's changed. From this is the Cobalt Crusher, and he just gestures to the blue. This is what everybody is affectionately referring to as Cherry Moon.
Immediately when he says those words, the door slams open and you see sort of a young, skinny, blonde man, sort of in a punk style, sort of panting heavily. His eyes are bright red and wild. You can see if he was sweating, he would be just drenched in sweat. He is looking at those vials, and it almost looks like he's about to leap across the room.
As soon as the door
I'm gonna post a picture. Hold up.
As soon as the door bursts open, though, Ophelia has pulled out her double barrel and has it pointed right at his head. Just.
As soon as that happens, Sycorax is going to immediately open a closet door and toss Butch a weapon, and it's a big ass fucking scythe, and I'm gonna post it in NPCs as well, along with a picture of that individual.
Yeah.
And Sycorax is going to basically move in front of Ophelia, baring her teeth at her, while Butch just sort of aims the giant scythe at them, just says, "Kyle, get the fuck downstairs now!" And Ophelia, if you point that gun at my childer for another second, I will not hesitate to decapitate you. Understand?
Ophelia.
You had a fix this whole damn time, old man.
And he just begins walking over and just grabs him by his shirt and he says, "Get downstairs right now, or I swear to God, I will let you go cold turkey with a stake through your heart." And he shoves.
Give it to me. Give it to me. I need it. I need it. I need it.
Sycorax looks to everyone else with a very sad, concerned look on his face. He says, "You finish your conversation. I'll get him downstairs."
Wait.
Come on, hon. And she just immediately just starts dragging him downstairs.
Ophelia has lowered it.
You hear him sort of like. You almost hear him like yowling, just begging, just for another hit, just sort of yowling and screaming before the sound is immediately shut off with the sound of a heavy door slamming shut.
Ophelia holsters her double barrel and looks and she doesn't put the safety on, but she does holster and she looks at him. "Now I can see why you need our help." It's not her.
You can see that he actually reacts very violently at the whole thing, and he actually turns around, takes the scythe, and slams it into his desk with a very animalistic, angerish rage that also feel Ophelia that you felt that rage before.
Yeah, Ophelia.
And it actually breaks the desk.
Rice has gone completely invisible in his chair, like a chameleon.
Ophelia isn't like the look on Ophelia's face is still fairly neutral, but the look in her eyes is not one of judgment, but one of sympathy. Of now she sees why the Baron is coming to her for assistance.
Can we please have and then you see him look up. He's not looking at any of you. Takes a sigh, even though he doesn't need to. And he says, "Can we please take a seat again and try this once more?"
Ophelia,
Marcus had also had his hand on his weapon, but sort of lowers it and just sort of sits back down.
Ophelia, sits and like kind of leans forward on with her elbows on her legs with her fingers interlaced in that sort of way. Like with her fingers under her nose, that sort of pose.
how has Sugar reacted to all this, and Sylvia, Sugar and Sylvia?
What the guy who's screaming that you're playing says?
That will be explained in a minute.
Okay, because Sylvia's very confused and she doesn't. She's also a little bit tipsy, and she's like kind of freaked out. And she's like, "What the hell have I gotten myself into with these fucking people?"
Sugar?
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's like also what Sugar's thinking, but he's also thinking. He's just sitting here like, I have surrounded myself with these people that are, and I have the feeling
Insane.
that in a couple seconds a fight will break out if nothing happens, but I can't do much. And I think he's just sitting there like, very defeated in the moment where he's like, this can go nothing but like kind of bad. He feels like.
All right.
Butch will remove the scythe from the pretty much now decimated desk and will set it against the wall before going around and sitting back in his chair and pretending that, and just sort of takes the whatever's left of the glass, because the glass is still on the piece of the brokenness, and just drinks whatever is left of the alcoholic blood. You know what? Screw it. He's gonna go full Anarch and just walk over to whatever alcoholic blood is in the decanter, and just down that shit to hunger one.
Nice.
Every last drop.
Nice. Nice.
And then he's gonna walk over and he's gonna be like, "So, I'm not sure."
I apologize. I assume that this new drug, Cherry Moon, is what you want us to look into.
He lets out a deep sigh and he says, "You know, it's not easy being the longest lasting married kindred couple in this city. Everybody's always looking at us, pointing at us, and it's been hard. You know what they say, centuries of marriage come centuries of baggage. And, well, this is me starting at the beginning. We decided to have a childer together, me and Sycorax. And
I think that is very admirable.
And so we found
What's a
Kyle.
childer?
Yes, Kyle is our childer. We did the process together.
Generation.
We did the process together. I drained him, she fed him her blood.
Basically, they're the ones who embraced him, Sylvia.
Okay, what is childer?
That's what.
It's the term.
Yes, for when your sire is the one who made you a vampire, a childer is what you are to a sire.
I see. Okay.
And
I'm assuming that young man was.
Yes, that was Kyle. Yes, and it was okay. You have to understand, he's only been like us for 3 months. Yes,
a new one.
He is very, very new. Yes, and we brought him and took him under our wing, and then, well, he needed a job, and came to me one day saying he'd found an enterprise where he could distribute things, certain narcotics for thin bloods, and well, I didn't think there was really a negative to it. I mean, I figured they were distributing it to humans, and that whole bit. But then suddenly, kindred in my territory started losing their shit, and then one day, he decided to sample the merchandise. And whatever you've heard about this stuff, whatever desirable effects, no matter how it makes you feel, it makes your beast a little bit more trigger happy than usual. And let's just say, Kyle, before he was embraced, he did not have a good life. He didn't have good parents. He didn't have a good family. And let's just say, on a certain night in which his beast was incredibly violent after taking a good dose of Cherry Moon. I'm not going to bore you with the gory details, but let's just say that a very, very, very noticeable masquerade breach happened that night. And that I took a lot of blood and sweat and money to make sure that Kyle's name was kept out of the Camarilla's notebooks. And out of the other barons, for that matter. Since
Well,
then-
you have done a good job since there has been no other mention of him by name, at least.
Even I haven't heard
But
of
it seems
him.
he has been. It seems he's been spotted. The
I'm afraid
woman
you-
that we had. The woman that we had to rescue, Irene, the Seneschal's ghoul, she remembers seeing a young man bothering the Thinbloods that were holding her captive, and was dragged away by a woman fitting your partner description.
It's honestly
Rise
aside,
will.
I've never seen in Sycorax in our 132 years of marriage. It's actually quite fascinating to see it happen. She's very
Right? Do you want to say something?
Sorry, Rise is gonna speak up quietly and be like, "It was him."
You remember, Rise?
Not well, but his eyes.
Oh, shit. That's not great.
What's it?
Sorry, what's this?
What did you say is in his eyes?
Oh, sorry, no,
He
Rise
recognized his eyes.
Yeah, sorry.
What?
He recognized Kyle's eyes.
Oh, okay, got it.
See, this is why I record things, so things can be clarified later down the line.
But Butch is going to say, just like, and it won't be long before this epidemic amongst other kindred is not just in my territory, but it's also in yours, and eventually, kindred will start going off like time bombs. Which is why I've come to you, because I happen to know, or at least assumed that you were looking into it. And I would do it myself, but I do have a barony to run, and I am mitigating the damage as much as possible. Believe me, if any Thinblood is seen selling this stuff in my areas, they might as well be ashes by dawn.
Is
But
it
again,
another branch of? Is it another branch of the Half Moons?
I'll tell you what was able to get out of Kyle's lucid moments. You'd have to talk more to him. Try to reach him. I've tried, but he just sees me as the man who did this to him and the person who's keeping him from his wonder drug who makes him feel human again. He told me that the people who sell it, that there's like 3 people. He saw them once at, he said it was a club. Something rabbit or velvety or something, but said there was 3 individuals that he noticed in particular. This big, bulky, intimidating looking guy, a bookish, sort of nebbish, scrawny young man, and a preppy, sporty young woman who, she had a motorcycle, he remembered that. But that he rarely ever saw them, and no names were ever mentioned or given. But according to them, they have a lot of connections that help them sell the Cherry Moon. And they protect their stock very, very fiercely. The jackals are always circling, you could say. But other than that, he's been lost in his withdrawal and his frenzies. We've had him strapped down with chains downstairs trying to get him to go cold turkey, but how do you cold turkey one of us? You know, it's trial and error.
Sounds horrible.
Yes.
Sylvia, did you want to speak up about your hangover that you had, or do you keep silent?
Say it really fucked me up the next day. I mean, it felt great, but it wasn't worth it.
So you've tasted it too.
Yeah.
He
blue
looks
stuff.
at all of you. He looks at all of you for a moment. He says, "Then I have a request, a small one. Before we do any other business, if you are to speak with him, I want you to speak to him."
Speak to Kyle?
Yes. Once he's calmed down.
All right. At that point, I think that's a good point to leave it off on that little cliffhanger.
Nice.
Lovely.
What are we gonna say to him? What are we